All right, everybody, welcome back. We are diving deep today
Babe.
into keeping your team happy and productive,
Yeah.
which honestly we all know is easier said than done,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in a field like construction. I mean, can you imagine the stress of deadlines and budgets and all that?
Yeah, it's a high pressure environment for sure.
So we thought we'd take a look at how the pros do it, right?
Right.
We've got some awesome material here from
Yeah.
the Gold Seal training series, which is like the gold standard for construction project management, right?
Absolutely. This is like the Bible for anyone who wants to become a certified Gold Seal project manager.
Which means you got to know how to motivate your crew inside and out, right?
Yeah, it's not just about knowing the technical stuff, it's about leadership.
Leadership, exactly.
Being able to get the best out of your people.
So let's break down some of these key practices from the training. First up, recognition and rewards. How do you actually make people feel appreciated on a construction site?
So you're not just giving out Employee of the Month plaques, right?
Can't exactly have pizza parties every week, you know?
So it's about finding ways to acknowledge good work that actually resonate with the team. Like if you have a worker who's consistently going above and beyond on safety, maybe you give them a shout out at the morning briefing.
Oh, I like that.
Or a small gift card to a hardware store, something that says, hey, we see you, we appreciate your effort.
Exactly. It shows you're paying attention to their individual contributions. You know, not just treating everyone as like a cog in the machine.
Right, because everybody wants to feel valued.
Okay, next up we have open communication. I feel like that's key in any field, but especially in construction where things are constantly changing, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. You have multiple teams, subcontractors, tight schedules, and something always comes up, like weather delays, material shortages, you name it.
Yeah, one little miscommunication could snowball into a huge problem.
Huge. Delays, budget overruns, even safety hazards. It can get messy.
So how do you prevent that? How do you create a culture where everyone feels comfortable speaking up, you know, even if they have bad news?
It starts with leadership, really. Project managers and superintendents need to be approachable. They need to listen, really listen to concerns and be proactive about providing clear information.
So we're talking regular team meetings, toolbox talks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. But it also goes beyond that, you know? It's about walking the site.
Yeah.
Being present, making yourself available to the crew.
Like not just hiding in the trailer all day.
Exactly. Because when people feel like their opinions matter, they're more likely to speak up when something's wrong.
Makes sense.
And that can prevent a lot of headaches down the line.
Okay, so communication is key. Now, what about conflict? Because let's face it, on a construction site, with so many different personalities and deadlines, conflict is bound to happen, right?
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do is ignore it. The key is addressing it quickly and fairly. And that's where those standard industry documents, like the CCDC forms, come in handy.
Okay, can you explain what CCDC is?
Sure. So CCDC stands for the Canadian Construction Documents Committee. And they basically provide these standardized contracts and forms that everybody in the industry uses.
Okay, so it's all about having a clear process in place.
Right. So for conflict resolution, there's the CCDC 5A. It's like a guide for handling disputes.
So everyone knows what to expect.
Exactly. And it ensures things are done fairly and transparently, and then everything's documented.
So if things escalate, you've got a paper trail.
Exactly.
Smart. Okay, now this training also talks about the importance of team building activities. And I know sometimes people roll their eyes at that, but I think it really can make a difference, especially in a high-stress environment like construction.
Oh, totally.
But I think it's important to do it right. So what are some examples of effective team building on a construction project?
It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be something as simple as a site-wide safety training session where everyone works together, you know, to solve problems and come up with solutions.
Yeah, like a little brainstorming action.
Exactly. Or even just a casual team lunch where people from different trades can just, you know, relax and connect on a personal level.
Because when you're spending, 10, 12 hours a day with these people, it's good to actually see them as people, not just coworkers.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then we've got work-life balance, which, I mean, that's a challenge in any field, but especially in construction where long hours are kind of the norm, right?
Yeah, it's tricky, but it's crucial. You know, if you want your team to be productive and engaged in the long run, you've got to support their well-being. So think about things like offering flexible scheduling when possible,
Yeah.
promoting healthy habits, or even just acknowledging that it's okay to take breaks,
Right.
to recharge.
That's like robots. We need to rest and
Yeah,
recharge.
exactly.
And then finally, we have professional growth opportunities. So like training programs, mentorship, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's about showing your team that you're invested in their future,
Hmm.
that you want to help them grow their skills and advance in their careers.
So maybe helping them work towards that Gold Seal certification.
Exactly. Or just providing opportunities for them to learn new things, take on new
So they're not
challenges.
just doing the same thing day in and day out.
Right, because when people feel like they're learning and growing, they're going to be more motivated, more invested in their work.
Right. So it all comes back to making people feel valued, right?
Yeah,
Like they're an important part of the team, not just a replaceable cog.
exactly. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels like they belong, that they're contributing to something bigger than themselves.
And honestly, I think that's something that applies to any field, not just construction.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you want to build a strong team, regardless of what industry you're in, these principles are key, right?
Yeah. I mean, clear communication, recognition,
Yeah.
conflict resolution, it's all connected.
It's all part of the recipe for success.
Exactly. And remember, it's an ongoing process. Building a strong team culture takes time and effort, but the payoff is worth it.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's wrap this up with a final thought for our listeners.
Uh-huh.
How would you apply these strategies, these principles, to your own work environment, even if you're not in construction?
Yeah. Even if you're not a project manager, even if you're not in a leadership role, think about how you can contribute to a more positive and productive work environment.
Food for thought, folks.
Food for thought.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into keeping your team motivated. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.